At the World Dodgeball Championship in the semifinal game versus Austria, this Austrian ref accosted me for celebrating. He aggressively came on the court, put his hands on me, pushed me, and screamed at me. In an attempt to get away from him, he still followed me while screaming and pointing and being super aggressive. He was yelling about how I could not celebrate and how I was being unprofessional. I've been watching sports all my life and I've never seen a ref act in this manner, especially since all I did was celebrate. He should have been removed immediately. I went through my footage and did side-by-side comparisons of my celebrations and those from Great Britain, and showed how this ref would react to mine but not to theirs. My conclusion was that this was racially motivated. This ref saw my celebrations as aggressive and intimidating, but those of Great Britain's completely acceptable. The head ref of the tournament quickly came to the defense of the Austrian ref who had accosted me. Rather than stating that what had happened is unacceptable and that refs should not be putting their hands on players, screaming at them in an aggressive manner, or following them around the court, he attacked my character and basically stated several reasons as to why I deserved what happened to me. He first stated that the audio had been removed, but I'm unsure as to how that would help his case. All you would hear was me screaming, "Let's go," to the camera, and then the Austrian ref screaming at me. His next excuse as to why I deserved to be accosted was that I made an aggressive action towards the referee. Please note how they are again describing my actions as aggressive. The truth of the matter is I was celebrating by flexing, the same way the Great Britain players did. The only difference is I was flexing towards the camera that was giving a live feed to the hotel room where my wife and kids were quarantined because of COVID. So as you can see, I was walking in a straight line that had nothing to do with the referee, and I maintained eye contact with the camera the entire time. It is not until the referee steps in front of me that I notice him, and watch how he swerves to get in front of me and put his hands on me. This is very aggressive behavior by the referee, not me. Watch how he even pushes me here. So one last time, let's just watch this clip slowly and you tell me who's being aggressive. Who's yelling at players? Who's pointing at players? Following players? Who's escalating a situation that did not need to be one in the first place? Because contrary to what you said in your comment defending this ref, it was not me making aggressive actions towards anybody. I was just celebrating with my family who could not be in the gym at the time. Something I should be allowed to do without being accosted by overly aggressive refs. So let's go to your next point as to why I deserved this. Next, you're bringing into question my sportsmanship, because by your logic, having poor sportsmanship means you deserve to be accosted, which sounds a lot like victim blaming. You bring up the yellow card that you gave me for doing a leap of faith or a jump shot, as you referred to it, and I quote, way after the game was over. Let's check the footage. So I am here. The head ref who says I deserve to be accosted is here. He will step on the court to signify the end of the game as I run past him for a flight kill. Listen for the whistle. There are several. And let's see for how long this game was over before I performed my jump shot. What you should see was, yes, I did perform a jump shot after the whistle was blown, but it was hard for me to hear it and hard for me to see the referee. But it was in no way poor sportsmanship. There was cheering fans, noisemakers, and whistles from other courts, so it made it very hard to hear. Listen to what the commentator said about the noise in the gym and how referees had been dealing with it.
Someone called out in the chat that there's too many whistles and it can be hard for the players. And anytime the refs think that anytime the players potentially heard a different court's whistle, the refs have understood that and have fixed that.
I tried to communicate that I could not hear the whistle, but it did not matter. The call was made and I respected that. But it's clear from my reactions that it was hard to hear the whistle and that I was already in motion on the flight kill when the ref stepped on the court. You can also see here that the Canadian player that I missed on my jump shot continued to play after the whistle because she also could not hear it. And the commentators who were sitting at half court didn't know the game was over either.
So that was a personal foul on Vince Marchbanks for the flying kill, correct?
Yeah, I'd just like to, I don't really know what it was for. I didn't see super aggressive play. He does obviously take the leap of faith in that. I'm not sure if the whistle was called. Obviously, if the whistle is called, then obviously I see a different cause for the yellow.
And that's coming from commentators who are sitting right here on the side of the court. And I say all that to say this. I don't have poor sportsmanship. I have great sportsmanship. And the fact that I got a card does not mean that I deserve to be accosted by overly aggressive referees. Lastly, you tell me how I should have voiced my concerns after being accosted by an overly aggressive volunteer who paid his own way and that is something that a person should never do. Your opinion on how, where, or when I report what happened to me does not matter. I've expressed my hurt clearly. I've documented my perspective with evidence. I have spoken with the president of the WDBF and taken several other steps to make sure that this never happens to anybody in dodgeball ever again. But you took your time and energy to point the finger at me and give several reasons as to why I deserved what happened to me. And a lot of these reasons weren't discussed in this video, like you making excuses for the ref, saying he was tired and overworked, or stating that tall, athletic individuals are intimidating, or that what happened to me could not be racially motivated because he accosted somebody else, a white player, on a different court. Anyways, I'm ashamed of your actions as a head ref, as a human, and as a dodgeballer. You do not get to police me on how I deal with my trauma, nor can you, as a white man, tell me what's racist and what's not. I think you owe me an apology, and I think that the Austrian ref that you're standing up for should never be allowed to ref on the world stage ever again. I think all refs need training on microaggression and how to de-escalate situations. I look forward to seeing how the WDBF responds to this.